Welcome to the Nicholas 11x12 technology. Today we're looking at the Microsoft Lumia 535 dual SIM Windows Phone smartphone. As you know, Microsoft was all behind Nokia's Lumia series, and now that the takeover of Nokia by Microsoft is complete, Microsoft ditched the brand name Nokia and decided to use their own one, Microsoft. That said, they brought a very interesting phone to the market, the Lumia 535, which currently costs about $125 US, which certainly is not much at all for a Windows phone. The specs on paper sound very nice, and besides, I unfortunately slipped on an icy way and fell with my trusty Lumia 520 phone, which now unfortunately has a completely broken screen and doesn't respond anymore. The rest of the hardware hasn't taken any damage though, so I'll try to get some replacement parts and repair my lovely Lumia 520. But in the meantime, I decided to buy this Lumia 535 to also take a look at what Microsoft has to offer at that price point. In the packaging is the phone itself, the battery, the charging cable, a quick start guide, and a warranty card. Unfortunately, no sign of an USB transfer cable. Disappointing. First, as always, the back cover. I of course went for the black version, but altogether this Lumia 535 is available in orange, black, grey, green, white, and in blue. Lots of colors to choose from. Nice. The black back cover is matte, but I'm not sure if the colored ones are matte as well. They might as well be glossy. In terms of build quality, I can't really complain. It feels solid, not perfect, but very acceptable for a price of $125. Unfortunately, with the 5-inch screen, this phone feels a bit too large for my small hands. Therefore, it doesn't really have that good of a grip to me, but I can't really judge that. The Lumia 535 is fairly slim, with a thickness of just 8.8mm. It weighs about 146 grams. Alright, right here's the speaker, the micro USB connection, the 3.5mm audio output, the volume rocker, and the power button. This phone is equipped with two cameras. The main camera being a 5-megapixel autofocus with an LED flash, and the secondary front-facing camera a 5-megapixel one as well. Both cameras can record video in 480p at 30 FPS. That's not bad, since we get two okay cameras for this lower price, but it would have been nice if at least the main camera could record at 720p. We'll take a look at the quality a little bit later. At the time of this video, the Lumia 535 comes with the Windows Phone 8.1 operating system, which is a good OS in my opinion. The smartphone comes with a 5-inch IPS display with a resolution of 960 by 540 pixels, which means we have a pixel density of just 220 ppi only, which clearly isn't the best. The colors are good and so are the viewing angles, no complaints here. However, the lower screen resolution is very noticeable to me here. At times, images don't look very sharp. The Microsoft Lumia 535 features the Qualcomm Snapdragon 200 quad-core CPU clocked at 1.2 GHz. As for the GPU, we have the Adreno 302 here, which is okay, but not mind-blowing at all. The phone has an internal storage of 8GB and has 1GB of RAM. 1GB of RAM isn't bad at all for a cheap Windows phone. The whole phone unfortunately feels kinda unresponsive, something that you immediately notice by just swiping back and forth or up and down on the start screen. First of all, it shows us the hardware performance isn't that good, and secondly, the touchscreen isn't very responsive. And I came to that conclusion when I tried out some games where more than one input is required. The touchscreen sometimes just doesn't respond to my inputs, which is very annoying. Other than that, for the price, the gaming performance is fine. But the overall feel in the OS with this phone isn't a good experience at all. Then something I dislike very much here is the on-screen navigation bar. I do understand Microsoft has to save on certain features here because of the low price point, but the on-screen navigation bar is absolutely horrible to use. Not to mention how often it's glitchy and doesn't want to show up or respond at all. At least the battery isn't that bad. It's a 1905 mAh lithium-ion battery, which offers an okay battery life. Not good, but for the price very acceptable. I bought the dual SIM version of this Lumia 535, therefore there are two micro SIM card slots. Of course there's also a micro SD card slot to extend the storage. You can install up to 128GB card here, which is absolutely amazing. To To give you a better idea on the performance, I ran the Windows Phone version of the Antutu benchmark. This phone gets a total score of about 11,700. Web browsing works fine, not super fast, but normal speed I'd say for budget smartphones. The camera quality for 5 megapixels isn't that bad actually. Focusing works well, and the LED flash definitely makes it easier to take photos in dark conditions. However, the video quality isn't all that good, but that's mainly because of the resolution of just 480p. Other than that, the video is somewhat smooth and looks fine. The speaker quality doesn't shine of course, but it's still better than on most other cheap phones. It by far can't beat my Lumia 520 speakers though. So overall, I'd say the Microsoft Lumia 535 is only an okay smartphone that is good enough for the most basic stuff. But to be honest, I was more disappointed than positively surprised in any way. The performance, especially simple things like swiping in the OS environment, really is a big letdown, and their unresponsiveness can drive you crazy at times. To make it short, while this phone has good stuff to offer as well for the price, most of the time you'll find yourself to be unhappy with this Lumia 535. Don't make the same mistake as I did. Spend a little more money on your phone if you can. Unfortunately, I can't recommend this Microsoft Lumia 535 smartphone. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and visit niklas11x12techx.com to see videos there earlier than on YouTube.